Manu Raju is there for us. Manu, what are you hearing in the halls there, particularly from John Cornyn's colleagues who very much wanted him to be the person that President Trump endorsed?
Yeah, shockwaves, anger, disappointment, and real concern among Republicans in this building. They had been lobbying President Trump for months to get behind John Cornyn. Senate Majority Leader John Thune, to some of his top deputies like the #2 Republican Senator John Barrasso had been speaking to President Trump for months, saying that they believe Cornyn was best positioned to win this race. He could save the party so much money in a critical race, and that ultimately they wanted him to get behind Cornyn early and fend up any primary challenge. And Trump continued to dilly-dally, not making a decision. His indecision on how to proceed ultimately led more candidates to jump into the race, not just Ken Paxton, but also Wesley Hunt in that first round, that primary round, that ultimately no one got 50% of the vote, and it led to that two-person runoff that we're seeing that will take place on Tuesday between Cornyn and Paxton. And there was a real belief here in this building that Trump would stay out of this ultimately because he had not made a decision in so long. But now that he has gotten off the fence and backed Ken Paxton to be the next senator, a lot of Republicans are fearful that it will cost him a seat, a critical seat in keeping the majority, including Senator Thune, who just moments before Trump made this announcement was in the dark. He had no idea what Trump was going to do. He had been making that case to Trump privately to get behind John Cornyn even in the last several days. And he told our colleague Ted Barrett that he was still uncertain what would happen. And our colleagues caught up with Senator Lisa Murkowski, another Republican here, of course, someone who has been targeted by Trump over the years, expressing real concern that, in her view, President Trump does not quite understand what it takes to keep the United States Senate. A real profound disappointment she expressed to reporters earlier. And I was talking to a bunch of Republicans today, too, Dana, many of them all on down saying, look, we need to get behind John Cornyn. He's the best person who can help us keep the Senate. But as you saw from that endorsement announcement just moments ago, Trump's still holding that personal grudge over Cornyn, even though Cornyn voted to acquit Trump in that second impeachment trial just because he offered some criticism of Trump post-January 6th and just because he didn't quickly endorse him.
All right, I'm going to have to jump because President Trump is on the balcony. So let me just go ahead and put this up so you guys can see it. Oh, I forgot to hit the volume. Turning on the sound.
Today, the House passed the Fostering the Future Act. Thank you, Chairman Smith, Chairman LaHood, Ranking Member Davis, and the House of Representatives for voting unanimously to lift America's foster children above partisan politics. Senators, we have momentum. Now it's your turn to bring the Fostering the Future Act across the finish line. Let's support our next generation and swiftly get this to the President for his signature. The White House Congressional Picnic has been cherished American tradition for a great part of our nation's 250-year history. Beyond politics, it provides an important social ritual where our nation's leaders share a moment of lightheartedness as we transition into the warm summer months. This evening's beautiful setting brings families from both sides of the political aisle together to enjoy Americana, the Marine Band's wonderful music, great food, and some friendly gaming competition. This great American social tradition reminds us that some fun and laughter with our families can bring unity, especially with our children and loved ones by our side. I have seen firsthand how much can be accomplished when Republicans and Democrats come together with a shared purpose, particularly for the betterment of our children. We experienced great bipartisan success with the Take It Down Act. I saw the spirit of American unity shine once again during my recent engagement with the House Ways and Means Committee as we began to shape legislation to protect America's foster care community. Young Americans deserve every opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed, and I believe we will continue making meaningful progress on their behalf. Make the most of this evening so that we can be impactful together. And now it's my pleasure to introduce my husband, President Donald J. Trump.
Thank you. Great job, Judy. Great job. What a great job. I have to follow that. I hate it. I never like following our great First Lady because it makes me look not so good. I want to thank all of you for being here. It's amazing, actually. And thank you, Melania. We're truly blessed to have such a First Lady. She's been so popular. She did a movie, it became #1. She then went to streaming, it became #1. And I say there's only room, remember this, for 1 star in a family, so I better get rid of that. That's not so good. But she's been amazing, and people love her, as you can see by the results. And that was a big thing today. Congratulations on that vote. She had a bipartisan vote. I should use you for some of the things I want to try and pass. But I join Melania in congratulating the House of Representatives on passing the Fostering the Future Act, which is a big deal, and this afternoon to modernize foster care, an issue close to the First Lady's heart, and hopefully it will quickly pass in the Senate. I'm sure it will. It's great. It's a great thing. And I want to thank everybody. We have a lot of senators. We have a lot of Congress people. And I want to thank you all. I'm thrilled to welcome you all to the White House this evening for a very special annual tradition, the Congressional Picnic. It's been going on for many years. And we're joined by many of the members of the House and the Cabinet, Senate. And I just want to say a special hello to the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. He's going to go down as one of the great speakers. We've done a lot together. We've done a lot. Where are you, Mike? Where are you, Mike? Hi, Mike. There he is. He's a great guy, actually, and he's worked so hard. I want to thank also John Thune, who's worked so hard, and he's been really he's a terrific person. He really is a terrific person. And we have a lot of things to pass, but one of the things we did pass was a great, big, beautiful bill. And that covered a lot of territory. I want to tell you, we said, let's do it all in one time. And it was 4 years worth in one bill. Everyone said that couldn't be done. And I want to congratulate and thank the Senate, House for the unbelievable job. And while there are too many members in the House and Senate, I see half of you right here, and I'd like to introduce everyone, but I want to let people enjoy themselves tonight. So, but we have so many represented this evening. It will be something very special to remember that all of us here tonight continue a priceless tradition. This really is a great tradition. We represent the oldest and most extraordinary constitutional republic on the face of the earth, and a special privilege and a unique responsibility it is. It's really something very special. I'm standing here and I'm looking at our great American flag. And it's hard to believe, but I put that in 2 months ago, and I put one on the other side. You know, this is actually, in theory, this would be, I consider them both, we have 2 fronts. I've never figured out, nobody else has either, since if you think about it, 1792, nobody's figured out which is the front and which is the back of the White House. So when I'm speaking here, I say the front, and when I speak over there, I say the front. It actually has 2 fronts, and I put 2 flags up, and it's a great pole, and it's a beautiful flag, and it's amazing that it wasn't up before. We have another flag slightly smaller on the top of the White House, but it's a little bit on the smaller side, but everybody loves that pole. It's a beauty, and it represents so much, and I want to thank the company that put it up. They're the best. I think they make the best. It's hard to believe. I have so many different developments all over the world. I always like putting the flag up. And I know a lot about flagpoles, and that's the best flagpole there is, okay? So congratulations. We have 2 of them. We got actually 2 for the price of 1. We negotiated a tough deal. But finally, we have a really representative flagpole and flag up in front of our White House, so that's good. I also want to recognize the incredible congressional spouses, families, and children who make enormous sacrifices so that their loved ones can serve, so that their loved ones can get beat up by the fake news, so that their loved ones can also beat up the enemy. And they do that. They do. They're warriors. It's not easy, and I want to give them, the spouses, a very special hand today. Thank you. Thank you, darling. Thank you very much. Thank you. You put up with a lot. It's not easy. But on the eve of the 250th year, there's so much for our country to celebrate regarding the party. We have a party that's really at a point that I don't think we've ever been at. And America's thriving, America's winning, and America's respected, perhaps like it has never been respected before. If you go back 2 years, we were not respected. We were a dead country. I'll tell you what, we were a dead country. And today we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's nobody even close. And I don't know if you saw the numbers today, but the stock market's at an all-time high. We had 67 all-time highs, so we've been here for a little bit more than a year now, and we had 67 all-time highs. And I want to say that in our first term, we finished the term out, despite COVID and all the other things, we had really an amazing period of time, and we finished at the highest point in the history of the stock market. And now we're blowing it away. We're blowing everything away, and we're going to end that war very quickly. They want to make a deal so badly. They're tired of this. Should have happened for 47 years. Somebody should have done something about it, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast. And you're going to see oil prices plummet. They're going to come down. There's so much oil out there. They're going to come plummeting down. But even with that, the stock market's at an all-time high. Jobless claims recently hit the lowest level since 1969, the best numbers since 1969, and more Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think of that. And we have a war. We have something happening that we just hit. It's very interesting. 2.5 months ago, we hit the best numbers that we've ever hit as a country. Jobs, the best. Everything was the best. Stock market, the highest. And I called my people in. I called them in. I said, congratulations, everybody, but we're going to have to make a little journey down to a place called Iran. We have to stop them. They have nuclear on their mind, and we're not going to let them have a nuclear weapon. And we've done a hell of a job, and I think we're going to be finished with that very quickly, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, and hopefully we're going to get it done in a very nice manner. Factory construction, as you heard today, also is up. Housing starts are up, and consumer spending is up. All things, we have an economy. People aren't seeing it yet. When we started, we had the highest inflation in the history of our country, and we actually had, just before the war, before the energy forced other things up, but up or down, we had the best numbers. We had inflation was at 1.6% for the last 3 months just prior to the war. And now you're going to see numbers like that again. We inherited high prices, and we got the prices down, and we got them down to numbers that in some cases people have not seen before. But think of it, inflation at 1.6%. Manufacturing right now is booming. American companies are purchasing core capital goods at the highest amounts ever in the history of our country. Our previously wide open border is now the most secure border in the history of the United States of America. And last year, remember, we inherited a mess. And last year, we had the largest drop in murder rate ever recorded to the lowest level in 125 years. That's the year 1900. Think of that. And working alongside many of you, and you are unbelievable, the senators, the cabinet members. We have such a great cabinet, and all of the congressmen and women. You're the most incredible people, but working alongside of many of you here, we passed that. Very important. And again, remember, I went to John and I went to Mike. I went to a lot of the senators and congressmen and women, and I said, we can try and do this at one time, get 4 years worth. That's why we call it the Great Big Beautiful Bill. We can do it at one time, give it a shot, but everybody says it's impossible to get approved. Well, we got 4 years worth of goodies approved in a period of time, and at a period of time that they said would be impossible. And we're lucky we did, and it's gotten a little bit harder as time goes by. In fact, the only one that gets things approved now are Melania and her friends. She gets them approved bipartisan. I'm going to talk to her later. I'm going to say, what are you doing? But it's great. It's great stuff. But what we did do is we got something done, and we're getting a lot approved. We're getting a lot. You're going to be seeing that too. You've been watching it. Amazing. With really small majorities, we've gotten record-setting numbers approved. And when you add no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security, all of the things, think of this: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, and that's just the start. Deduction: you buy a car and you get a deduction for the first time on the interest you're paying on your loan. If you're borrowing money, you take out a loan, you get a deduction. It's never happened before. We have so many different things. One other thing I have to say, because it's affected so many people: estate taxes, or the death tax. You love your children. You want to pass on your estate to your children. Well, in the old days, meaning not so long ago, your children would have to go out and borrow tremendous amounts of money to go and take care of the farm or the small business, whatever it may be. But it especially affected those in small business, but more than anything, farmers. And they'd go out. The children would go out, borrow money from their bank, wouldn't be able to pay it back. Bad things happened to them. Many of them couldn't handle life, actually. And we got it. There's no estate tax. There's no death tax on your farm, on your small business. Nobody thought that was possible. So if you love your children, you can leave your business to your children. You can leave your farm to your children, and they'll be very happy. Now, if you don't love your children, don't bother. Then it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is just a big waste of time. But if you love, think of it. You have no death tax. You have no estate tax. You can leave it to your children, and we love that. It was so important to me. We've restored the American strength on the world stage. We're respected all over the world. You might have seen I was in China a few days ago with President Xi, and it was some display. We had a great time, but we also got a lot of business done, a lot of great business for our farmers with soybeans, record purchases of soybeans and lots of other things. And they're buying many Boeing airplanes, and they're buying a lot of other things too. We had a great relationship. I've always had a great relationship with President Xi. Together, on a bipartisan basis, we passed the Lake and Riley Act to get dangerous criminal aliens off our streets. We love Laken. We passed the Genius Act to keep America at the forefront of finance and new technology, and working with Melania and the group, Congress passed the Take It Down Act to protect our nation's children. So that was something. And everyone here tonight has a lot to look forward to, so that in the coming months we're going to have some very amazing events. One of them is going to be right there where you're standing. It's good. The hardest ticket I have never seen anybody want anything so much as people want those tickets. It's a one-of-a-kind UFC. That's going to be something, UFC event on the South Lawn. Right there, we're going to build an arena. It's going to hold probably, I would say, 4,000, 5,000. The great Dana White is putting it on. You know, we'll get it up to the max. And behind you in the park, the beautiful open piece of land, we're going to have anywhere from 75,000 to 100,000 people, all free of charge. We're building 8 giant screens back there. So we have a small arena here that we're building, never happened before. And in the back, we're going to have close to 100,000 people watching the fight. They're going to be all championship fights. It's going to be great. We also have, as you know, the Indy. Roger Penske is doing the Indy around the Capitol, and that'll be in August. That's going to be unbelievable. He said he's been trying to do that for 25 years. He's made 129 trips to Washington. He was never able to do it. Then he met me. One trip took a half an hour, and we got it done. And it's going to be fantastic. And we have then, of course, FIFA, Johnny. Good old Johnny. He's great. He's doing a fantastic job. Johnny Infantino. We have the FIFA World Cup and our Great American State Fair on the National Mall and the Freedom 250 Grand Prix here. And then on July 4th, we have an unbelievable display. And don't forget, we have a thing called the Olympics coming up. I got the Olympics during my first term, and then I got FIFA during my first term. And I said, oh, I won't be able to see it because it happened now. But then strange things happened with an election, and I didn't get to serve the 4 years that I was supposed to serve. I don't want to say it. I don't want to be controversial. The election was rigged. And we came back and we did something very special, and I ended up getting the Olympics and getting FIFA, and we got 252. I want to take credit for 250 years, but that I'm not going to get away with. But we're going to have an amazing period of time. So we have exciting things happening. I just want to leave by saying our country is so strong. Our military is the greatest in the world. You saw that with Venezuela. You see it now with Iran. We wiped out their Navy. The Navy is gone. The Air Force is gone. Their anti-aircraft is gone. All of their material that they use for warfare is gone. Just about everything is gone. I don't want to say their leaders are gone because it's not very nice, but that happens to be true. And they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. We won't be able to put up with that, and we're not going to put up with it. And just to say one final thing, in the history of the world, there's never been anything like happened over the last short period of time. 18 trillion, with a T, dollars is being invested in the United States. There's never been anything close. As an example, the previous administration, in 4 years, had less, substantially less, than $1 trillion. We have $18 trillion in 11 months. We haven't gotten the results from the last month, from the 12th month. But think of that, 18 trillion. In the history of the world, there's been no country with anywhere even close to that number. And all of that money is going to building factories. And I mean car plants, auto plants, everything is coming back, AI plants. We have everything coming back. We've never had a situation like it. We're building plants, thousands of plants all over our country, $18 trillion. It's many times greater than another country, a certain other country that I just visited. If you go, I won't mention names, if you go back 10 years, that had the record at 3 trillion. We're at 18 trillion. There's never been anything like that in history. So I just want to thank you all. You're spectacular people, the political people out there. I love you all. And we're going to have one hell of a time for the next few years. And hopefully the next few years will lead to greatness for many, many years to come. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thomas Massie endorsing challenger Ed Gallrein. Now, it's the most expensive House race in history. About $32 million was spent, and it's still too early to call this, but Gallrein is up 9% so far. So let's go to Bill Hemmer, co-host of America's Newsroom at the Billboard. Bill, it's always the question of the most populous areas of the state you're right and where the Trump voters really are here.
You got it. Well, I mean, in this district, Laura, the Trump voters are everywhere because he beat Kamala Harris in this district alone with 75% of the vote. I mean, this is deep red Trump country. Let me come back to him and his endorsements in the end. I'll make a point about that. But just so our viewers know at home, this is Congressional District 4. This is, let me show you, Laura, showing this earlier. So this is the Ohio River border, okay? So just below Ohio, just below Indiana. But as you look at the countywide here, you got 21 counties throughout the district of Congressional District 4. But Laura, if you were to look at the population center that you just mentioned, it is up here in northern Kentucky. It is Boone County. It is Kenton County. It is Campbell County. It's basically a suburb or mini city just south of Cincinnati, Ohio. You've got 2/3 of the vote of the entire district that come from those three counties. And at the moment, the problem for Thomas Massie, with about 50% of the vote counted, down about 8 or 9 points, he leads only, by the way, this is considered the urban area of the district. Everything else is farm country. At the moment, Massie has a slight edge in Mason County. There's only a couple thousand votes out there. And he has a slight edge here in Lewis County, which is where he has his farm, his 1,500-acre farm. So, unless Massey starts making a move here in the rural area and starting to change the numbers here in Boone, Kent, and Campbell, it's not going to blow Tom Massey's way. And you called the Andy Barr race early in the Senate. I think it's very interesting. You called it, really right after the polls closed here. Sorry, that's Georgia, a little too fast on that. Andy Barr is the former congressman around Lexington. He wants to succeed Mitch McConnell, who's retiring. And in these 3 counties that I mentioned where most of the people live, Andy Barr, 25 points edge there. In Kenton County, almost 25 there.
Well, they're starting to play a lot of copyrighted music, getting ready to play some Journeys, which YouTube doesn't like. But let me bring SB in while we can waiting for the final results. It's close. Like I said, the fat lady is singing. She's warming up her pipes. What are you seeing out there? It ain't over. It ain't over.
I know it's there's only 120,000 people voting, and then there's 70% is in now, and it's Massey's still up, and it's not like only a couple thousand. I'm checking out the decision desk. It looks like he was up by like 12 or 13,000. And like they were saying, there's not many populated areas that he can get the votes, So, when you go to the other counties, you got a couple cows and some haystacks, unless they vote.
And a whole lot of pine cones, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that,
save the pine cones, Barry. Save the pine cones, bro.
Pine cones up. And so President Trump is in a receiving line. He's just shaking hands and stuff. I'm waiting for more results to come in so they could. Some people said the New York Times and some other people have already called it. I don't know. But
Decision desk did. They called it at 7:41 p.m. They said
who did the decision desk did?
Yeah, at 7:41.
Wow. You think if you think the Massey nuts were crazy today and yesterday, you ain't gonna see nothing if he gets blown out like this. They're gonna go nuts. Absolutely crazy.
There's gonna be a lot of copium drips going tonight.
A whole lot. Deservedly so. They're some of the nastiest people you want to find. They can't have any debate. All they want to do is attack, and it's just crazy. So I'm waiting for, hopefully see if this music is off. Here's President Trump again. Let me see if I can bring this in without getting myself in trouble. That might be the worst rendition of the Journey song I've ever heard. Oh my God. You know what? I used to play or dabble with guitar, and there's something, don't even try to play certain music. You're just going to embarrass yourself. I remember trying to learn and play a lot of Van Halen stuff, and I'm like, nah, can't touch it. Can't touch it. That lady's trying to sing Steve Perry. Yeah, you ain't got it.
That was not good. I played mean air drums, and I played Rock Band, if you remember that. I had a drumming pad. That's about as good as I get. I don't claim to be any drummer, but
And what's
I am
funny is
hardcore Rock fan.
YouTube probably won't catch that because it sounds so bad. It doesn't match it. It doesn't match it. What
You're
is
good.
this?
You're good, Barry. You're fine.
What is this crap? But he's still shaking hands. Let's check it out. That is one bad Journey rendition. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing more and more people starting to call this thing. Fox
Yeah.
is always late, except if it's against Trump, they would have already called
Yeah,
it.
of course.
But
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the finality of. I mean,
Yeah.
I could switch it to one of the other stations, but oof, man.
I
Now-
mean, I don't expect any kind of Democratic surprise here, so I'm not too worried about it. But you're right. Until you
Yeah.
see until you see President Trump posting, but he's busy doing something right now. So it won't be him.
Now, what was funny today? I don't know if you guys caught it. John Thune pissed off. Lisa Murkowski pissed off. Susan Collins pissed off. Bill Cassidy, who just got tossed out of Louisiana, he decided he was going to go ahead. he was going to vote against the Iranian war. Wait, we got something here. Hold on. They've even called it. Hold on.
And the Kentucky House primary by 8%, but now we're just getting a call in. Ed Galron has defeated incumbent Thomas Massie after Donald Trump endorsed Galron and a huge amount of money spent on this race. We're going to go right to Doug Schoen. Doug, I think we all knew this was coming. When Donald Trump gets involved in one of these races, how rare is it for a Trump foe to win?
It's very rare. And Laura, this sends a message to the entire Republican Party and indeed the entire country, as I was saying before, that the power of the Trump brand to motivate voters, in this instance, 12-year incumbent beaten by a newcomer because of the Trump endorsement. And I think my party would make a very big mistake underestimating the power of the Trump brand and the fact that, as you say correctly, he has not lost a primary yet. He wins Louisiana. He wins the Kentucky Senate primary, and now this key House race. So I don't think this can be overestimated, Laura.
Yeah, and look, I think we heard from Massie it was a lot about Israel, and this is Israel's race. It's not America. Well, the voters of Kentucky did not agree with that. I mean, it's their district. It's the fourth district. It's their vote. It's their view. They did not buy what Tom Massie was saying.
That's what I was saying, SB. When all the Massey people were talking about it's Israel. The bottom line is the people in that little yellow area that map, those are the only people who counted. You could have spent all kinds of gazillions of dollars. Those people are still the ones who went out and voted. And so tomorrow you're going to hear it. You're going to hear people say he's bought by Israel and everything else. But bottom line is the people aren't.
That's right.
Hold on one second. They're going over it.
Primary race in that state against two other candidates. And the president does not endorse Cassidy. He goes for the other candidate, and she wins. Bill Cassidy loses in the primary. That was just Saturday. Now you got this unknown Ed Galron, who comes out of Kentucky against Thomas Massie, who's been in the public light now for 7 terms, 14 years. Now, he is knocked out. And then earlier today, the president endorses Ken Paxton in Texas. Why is that important? Because Texas has got the same 50% threshold, so they got to have a runoff on Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. Now, Paxton against John Cornyn, some of the polling suggested that Cornyn had a slight lead there. And you think today, after that endorsement by the president, that whole race could change as well. So in a period of 10 days, you've got the president weighing in on 3 significant primary races. In all likelihood, he has a chance now to go 3 for 3. And the reason that's important for federal office during the primaries, not the state level, for federal office, he has endorsed dozens and dozens of candidates, well over 70, okay? In some of those races, there was no competition, all right? But a lot of them, like this one, there has been. Point being, when the president puts his thumb on the scale of politics during the Republican primary season, he has been a winner every single time.
Well, what does
That's
this
the
say to
story.
Lauren?
Every single time. Not once, not twice, every single time. But
Guess what?
I thought they told us MAGA was dead.
Well, I thought our spirit was broken.
Our spirit
My
was
spirit is-
broken.
So Trump's been posting on Truth. He's got all the snapshot. Of course, he said Ed wins, but he says Andy Barr wins, James Comer wins, Brett Guthrie wins, Hal Rogers wins. So these are all the ones that he wanted, and they're all winning.
And we have to acknowledge at this point that Trump does not post everything because he's standing around
Right.
clashing
That's
hands
right.
and everything. But in any event, I thought we were supposedly dead. Everyone said MAGA was dead. But you know what really is happening?
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
Yeah, I don't think the Democrats are ready for this. I mean, they have tried to sell people that MAGA was dead and that Trump's base has abandoned him. Y'all need to get off of Twitter. I'm serious. You need to just step off of Twitter and realize that is not real life whatsoever. I say it all the time. We go out to dinner. We have fun here in South Florida, and it looks nothing like what these people on Twitter say. I mean, it's amazing at this point. But he's still out here shaking hands. Let's check in here. And no sound. Hold on. I don't know what the hell she's singing. Oh my gosh. With all that money there, they could have hired somebody who sang a little bit better than that. Oh gosh, that's crazy. Man, oh man. So Jesse Waters is getting ready to say something about what's his face? Massey
just lost. The results will tell us a lot about where voters feel about Trump and a lot about Democrats as well. And give us a clue about what to expect in the midterms. Bill Hemmer, co-anchor of America's Newsroom. What do we got, Hemmer?
I mean, this is where we are. A race has been called for Ed Gowrine, a newcomer to the political scene. He's a dairy farmer in the southwestern portion of this district, Congressional District 4. Thomas Massey, meanwhile, is a very well-known commodity. He has represented this district for 14 years, Jesse. And the president endorsed Gowrine, the former Navy SEAL. The race has been called. He's got about an 8-9 point edge right now. That may be very close to the final point, the final margin in this race. So that was an endorsement on behalf of the White House and the president. Also in the state of Kentucky, this thing was really no contest. It was a three-way race on the Senate side. In Andy Barr, the former congressman, represented Lexington, northeastern section of there. He's trying to go for the Mitch McConnell seat after McConnell announced his retirement come end of this term. Andy Barr was endorsed by the president also. And Jesse, this race was called within minutes after polls closed. Three-way race, Daniel Cameron, the former attorney general. Really, I mean, some competition, but really not much when you're around 60% of the vote. So the president tonight in the bluegrass state of Kentucky, he's got a winner in the Senate for Andy Barr, and he's got a surprise winner, too, in the House with Ed Gowrine. So Gowrine now goes to the general. A district, by the way, that went for Donald Trump by 75% of the vote against Kamala Harris in 2004. This is Trump country, Congressional District 4, and Ed Gowrine, in all likelihood, will go to the House of Representatives come November. And what is another victory after a presidential endorsement tonight, Jesse?
All right.
Wow. They kept telling, like SB just said, they kept telling us that MAGA was dead, and I guess that's not to be the case. You know, it's funny. I've got a feed of the Massey election party, and it looks as bad as when Hillary when Hillary we might be able to get a couple of jokes in and watch that as soon as he comes out and gives his concession speech. But President Trump is still shaking hands and kissing babies and everything else. I have a question. I wonder when he found out. Obviously, he must have known it's looking a certain way, but I wonder when somebody tapped him on the shoulder and go, "We got it." I would have loved to have seen that moment when, oh, he's talking to little babies. Unlike Biden, he's not sniffing anybody. So earlier when I first started, I was showing a video of CNN, and when CNN was talking to John Thune. So I want to show you guys this because if John Thune felt he had like a poopy diaper before this moment, he now knows he better have a really big poopy diaper. So listen to how CNN was describing it, as you heard earlier.
A real profound disappointment she expressed to reporters earlier, and I was talking to a bunch of Republicans today too, Dana, many of them all on down saying, look, we need to get behind John Cornyn. He's the best person who can help us keep the Senate. But as you saw from that endorsement announcement just moments ago, Trump's still holding that personal grudge over Cornyn, even though Cornyn voted to acquit Trump in that second impeachment trial just because he offered some criticism of Trump post-January 6th, and just because he didn't quickly endorse him in the 2024 race, he did ultimately endorse Trump. He didn't back any other primary challenger. Still, those two things were on the president's mind. It is all about loyalty for President Trump, which is why he got behind Ken Paxton and why so many Republicans are angry about this president's decision here and worried that ultimately it'll cost them so much money that they can spend in other battleground states to try to push Ken Paxton over the finish line, or in the worst case scenario, cost them a seat in trying to hold on to their very narrow majority, Dana.
Thank you.
You know, it's really weird when I watch these people and they keep talking about it. You would think, here it is, mid-May 2026, that they would understand that loyalty is expected. It's not a bad thing to expect loyalty. The media and the rhinos for all this time have kept trying to tell us that it's bad that President Trump wants loyalty. I don't know why that's bad. I want to be working with people who are loyal. I wouldn't want some turncoat, but now they're finding out the hard way.
Given that you've spent months trying to persuade the president to endorse John Cornyn in the Texas primary, and given that the NRSC has invested heavily to help Cornyn win that primary, how personally disappointed or frustrated are you with the president's decision to endorse Ken Paxton today?
Well, I think you all know my position on this.
Now understand, as he's saying this was this afternoon. So tonight at this event with President Trump, Trump singles out Mike Johnson, and he singles out John Thune. Oh, he's doing a great job. Wink, wink. You get it? You get it, John Thune? You're next. Your peeps are next. Do what we need to do. Get the Save America Act done.
I've made it very clear for months now. And Senator Cornyn is a principled conservative. He is a very effective senator for the state of Texas. And but none of us control what the president does. He made his decision about that. That doesn't change the way I feel. And I am certainly will continue to be supportive of Senator Cornyn and his reelection.
How much harder has he made it to keep the majority? How much harder has the president's decision here made it for you? Your number one job to keep the Republican majority, given your concerns about Ken Paxton's viability as a candidate.
We look at lots of races around the country.
Wait. Given Ken Paxton's viability as a candidate, do they realize who he's running against? In case you guys aren't aware, he's running against James John Tallarico, the insane leftist, the socialist, the one who doesn't like God, the one who just wants to open the border. What the hell are we talking about? If we can't beat Tallarico, we don't need to be in business over there. If the Democrats can beat the Republican with a candidate like Tallarico, we got bigger problems. So I'm not understanding what the long face is for. You should be able to put up a ventriloquist dummy that's a Republican and beat Tallarico. That doesn't make any sense.
And the majority runs through a lot of different states. We have 24 seats up this time. The Democrats have only 9, so we've got a lot more ground to defend. We also have a couple of offensive opportunities. So, one state doesn't determine the outcome of this election. But obviously we care about every state, and we care about helping see our incumbents succeed. That being said, I feel very good about where we are. As I've said before, I think when it comes to winning elections, it starts with quality candidates. Then you got to have a record of accomplishment to run on. You've got to have resources to get that message out, tell that story to the American people. And then you've got to have a really substantial effort to get out the vote, a ground game. And I feel confident in all those elements in all the key states where we're going to have competitive elections this year. And I'm very confident we'll hang on and maybe even expand the majority of the United States Senate, which is counter, I know, to the sort of the narrative these days. But the truth of the matter is we've got the right candidates in the right places at the right time, and with the right resources, we're going to win some races.
I don't know how you're going to do it if you don't back this man. I don't know how you're expecting to win by trying to buck Trump. Doesn't make any sense. Obviously, at this point, you have to realize the political capital, the political power that President Trump has, and that he's not afraid to wield. So at this point, Boone and everybody else going up against him, they're having a bad cameraman day here. I don't know what the heck's going on. But in any event, it's time to fall in line. Not to keep fighting Trump, not to go ahead and put up the Save America Act. What are you waiting for? I don't get it. And I wouldn't want to cross this guy any further. I mean, at this point, he's not lost anything. It's crazy. All right, so SV, what you got anything?
Yeah, just in, CNN just admits that President Trump turning the Republican Party in his image has been a massive success. Trump's goal is to reshape the Republican Party in his image, and he has been so successful with that.
I had seen so many stories earlier today that they were calling this Massey race a referendum on Trump. They actually put that in print. And so when you actually put it out there that this is a referendum on Trump, well, and he wins, then you have to admit it's a huge success because you stuck your neck out there and said this was all about Trump, and boom. And have you seen any of the Massey-ites out there saying, are they screaming, crying?
I saw some report. There was a report that he wants to stay relevant, that there may be reports he may try to run for president. I kid you not. I know. He's got to stay relevant.
Oh man. I don't know
What's he
how
gonna run on? Save the pine cones?
He got to sell a lot of pine cones at that point. A whole lot. Oh my gosh. But
just go away. Just go away. Yeah, you had your time.
Yeah, just leave. Just leave.
He spent $30 million too. $30 million just goes poof up in smoke in his district. $30 million.
To get rocked. To get absolutely rocked. I mean, I can't believe President Trump is still out here shaking hands and kissing babies. Let me see if I can pull it up. There we are. Somebody wrote Massey running for president is like AOC running for president. Y'all crack me up. All right, so just in all the build up about Massey, another thing people aren't paying attention when they're not announcing it, I see it on a scroll. Burt Jones seems to be ahead in the Georgia governor's race as well. He was the one that Trump endorsed over Brad Raffensperger, and he is now leading in his race as well. So there's a whole lot of Trumpians that are winning their races. All right,
I was going to read you something. So Clandestine literally 1 minute ago wrote this: MAGA has spoken.
Wait. Let me pull it up, and that way you can, everybody can see it at the
See
same
it
time.
while reading it. There you go. You probably have him on the dial.
Yeah, I can pull him up real quick here.
All right.
You know, he's got to be somebody that's on the inside. You know.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me see, make sure I didn't mess up my buttons, and I did. So, you know what? I did. I haven't had it set up here yet.
We're working on it, folks. We're working on it.
I forgot.
All right. Clandestine wrote a minute ago, MAGA has spoken. Massey has been fired. MTG was banished to The View. And the woke right, or whatever you want to call it, is now officially dead. It was cute while it lasted, though. Now, of the morons, will you please shut up and get out of the way? We have a world to save.
Will you please shut up and get out of the way? I have a lot of these guys that followed me, talked to me, and now I can't wait I'm going to eat dinner, and I'm going to go through some of their profiles tonight and just see them blowing up. I don't know what they're going to do. They pushed all in on that woke right stuff. And it's dead. It's deader than a doornail. There's nobody else for them to follow. We're going to get a lot of people saying stuff like, oh, we're going to vote Democrat, which means you're probably Democrat already. But it's crazy.
I checked in with some MM guy, and he's not doing well.
You mean the guy who used to be a pollster, then went away, and now he's back? That guy?
Yeah. Click for money, click.
I'm just telling you, I don't know if any polls make any sense whatsoever anymore. You never.
Hey, I was going to say that the one in 2016 when they said Hillary had a 90% chance. That's why I don't believe it. I don't believe them. I mean, I've been polled once in my life, and I blocked the number.
I've never been polled. But then somebody said today, I made fun of him. Mark Halpern said that Trump was the Republican Party was going to get boats stomped or something. Tell me how. I keep seeing it just the opposite. And now he's got this. He's still, I mean, here we are, 30 minutes later, and he's still out there. He's still. Oh, that's Scott Turner. Boy, Scott Turner on the other side of the fence. But that's Scott Turner, director of HUD, that he's talking to right there. And he's like, oh, yeah, you guys go ahead and talk. I got to go up here and just go ahead. I can't wait to see what the posts are going to be like tonight against Massey. He's probably got to start posting. Yeah, I got to go upstairs. I got to do some stuff. You guys talk. I'm going to go upstairs and roast Massey here for a while. Oh, you got something? What you got?
Yes, it's just in. Massey actually spoke. He says that I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrain in Tel Aviv. I have called and conceded the race.
Wait a minute, did he really say that?
Yes, that's what he said. I'll send you the link so you can play it. Hold on.
Did he really say that?
That is the quote.
What a piece of on his. Is it on his personal page?
No, this is through Eric Doherty. He cut the video.
No way he said that. Hold on a second. Let me download. What a piece of work this guy is. I mean, why would you say something that like?
Yeah, I just listened to it. Yeah, he did say that. And he's laughing too. Ha ha ha.
Okay, hold on. I'm downloading it now so you guys can hear it. What a piece of work! What an absolute no class whatsoever. None. I mean, just none.
You expect him not to vote on anything Republican until he gets out in 2027. He's going to join the other Cassidy on the Rhino Revenge Tour, as they call it.
Here we go.
Cassidy's.
I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrain in Tel Aviv. I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrain in Tel Aviv. I did get the call through, though. I have called and conceded the race. We've been honorable the whole time.
Yeah, we've been honorable the whole time, but you just threw Israel back into the mix. What a piece of work.
Hey, I'm going to give him my Italian salute.
Somebody's like, now we can go. Okay, here's President Trump leaving. He's dancing. Just so you know, that woman he's talking to, I believe that is the woman from down here in Florida. I forget her name, but she's the one who's been pushing amnesty. Belzart or something. I don't know why he'd be shaking it. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she's probably begging for an illegal immigrant amnesty right now. That's her. That's a woman from Florida. I forget. She's pleading right now. Please, please, you gotta let them all stay. Then he's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, call me tomorrow. I gotta go. All right, so if you don't have True Social, I'll be watching. I'm sure SB will be watching. I'm sure we're going to see a flurry of posts tonight. There's no doubt he's feeling it. He can't wait to get up there. Like, okay, let me start doing some exercises with the fingers. I'm ready to go. Oh gosh.
Hey, I know you like numbers and facts. This just came out. It says the Massey versus Galrain race is shaping up to cost $500 per vote, by far and away the most expensive congressional primary in history. Wow. Normally spending averages around $75 per vote. This was over 650% higher than normal.
For a little district in Kentucky. That's it. That much money got spent on that district. It's
$30 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of shameful. But and the thing is, like I said earlier, who watches this stuff? I'm pretty sure the people in Kentucky weren't watching commercials, and nobody wants to see that crap. It's no, it's nice weather. I'm not sitting here watching your commercial. It's crazy.
Yes.
So anyway. All right, so I'm going to get out of here, and we got a short one tonight, but it worked. We had some fun. We got to see President Trump, and we got to revel in the fact that Massey is gone.
Winning.
Much winning.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning, and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
Well, they haven't posted the schedule. It's too early. It's only 8:23. The schedule for tomorrow doesn't normally come out until 10 o'clock, 10:15. Once they post it, I'll let you guys know what we'll do tomorrow. I'm settling into the 4 p.m. show. That's when I want to begin doing a 4 p.m. show every day, unless something like today happens. There was an afternoon event, and then this small evening event. So for the most part, let's plan on 4 o'clock tomorrow, unless something happens, which could be bombs flying by then. We don't know, but I will let you guys know for sure. And let me just quickly do the remaining of the super chats that are in here, just to give thanks to everybody. Vielka, have you heard about a Democrat Senate candidate that got caught divulging Democrat strategy to an inmate on the phone? No, I did not hear that, but now you're going to make me go look it up because I'd love to know who did that. Buddy, Olympics need to be moved out of California. Can you imagine what that task would be on moving all that out of California? That would be Herculean. But I agree with you. Chiasop, Thune lost his lover, Cornyn, broke back, heartbreak. Yeah, right now there's a lot of rhinos with some serious butt puckerage going on. Vielka, what do we have here? Vielka. Where'd that go? The Dem name is Crystal Matthews. She told the Democrat sleeper cell strategy. Yeah, I will definitely look that up. And then there was something above that didn't show up down here. Not sure where it went. But there was a orange one on the screen, and it's not there anymore. So I hope I didn't, click it off or whatever. But thank you anyway if it was you. But I don't see that anymore. So anyway, hold on, let me check one more thing just to make sure. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for sure. Thank you very much. Just a quick one today. Just wanted to have some fun and check out President Trump, Melania. But there's a whole lot of news coming tomorrow. So I can't believe some of the stuff these Democrats have been saying at this event. What's the event? The Center for American Progress. Absolutely crazy. Covered for you tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
you.